Well, welcome, ladies and gents, to Face the TV for some more Star Series here with me, DDK. And Jackie's back. Welcome back.
Yeah, once again, I'm here.
How's life?
It's good. Living, Counter-Striking.
Nice.
It's good, man.
Okay, well, we're going to kick things off with GPlay and Dignitas here. We do have Cash Inferno, then Mirage. And GPlay, Producer Reese we were talking about this earlier, and Producer Reese was saying, like, hey, I think these guys are one of the best Tier 2 teams. And I think I actually have to agree with him. However, they haven't proven themselves in a non-online setting just yet. Everyone faces them. I know I've heard a lot of people say these guys are like the best players on the internet, the best team on the internet. You know, one of these teams that just wrecks everyone on the internet, but on LAN they can't make it happen. But on the contrast, you've got Dignitas, who are always basically in the mix in some incarnation of some mix of Danish players, and they're having much better results recently as well. So this actually feels like a good matchup, I think. What are your impressions of this?
For me, this is just going to be interesting to watch Dignitas play, because I've been really a big fan of a lot of their players, especially Pimp was actually, I think in Source, he was my favourite player from Source.
He's super good.
He's really amazing, and that's why in this lineup, I feel this is where he can really shine. So this is going to be a big game for me.
One thing I like about him actually is that he's actually a really smart player. Oh wow, the odds there are really heavily favoured for Dignitas. Do you agree with this? Do you think it's this one-sided?
As much as I hope it would be, I think it won't be anything like that at all. It's going to be more in the middle. GPlay are really strong online, as you said, and going up against Dignitas, it just depends on the day.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. But yeah, speaking about Pimp, actually, this guy's been around for quite a long time, and I guess some of the heights would have been the Copenhagen Wolves lineups that he was in with the Glaive, MSL, and all those guys, and Nico, and so on and so forth. And we haven't seen a lot from him since some of these older lineups. He's kind of been a little bit more quiet actually. So it'd be interesting to see if they can finally bring something else back to the Danish team besides, of course, the immense success of TSM, who of course used to be Dignitas. The thing with Danish teams is that they always have the skill. You know, they have the skill there. There always seems to be like other things going on behind the scenes that can maybe cause the issues, whether it's chemistry issues or whether it's who should be the leader or just some good old-fashioned drama. So
I think that's what it is with Danish teams. They're kind of like Voltron. If you can get them to fit together right, then they're just an unbeatable machine. It's just getting them in the right order.
Yeah, no, I completely agree there. So Cash will be the first map. Do you think this is a dig map? Do you think this is a GPlay map?
I think Dig are going to be slightly stronger on Cash. I think for me, that sort of benefits their playstyle a bit more, but then again, as well as we were saying earlier, GPlay are just a wild beast. You don't know what they're going to do. Like, sometimes they just whip out crazy things. So
yeah, it's been a really long time since I actually casted them. Thinking about it because of all the... they're a Tier 2 team looking to break their way into the Tier 1, so we don't get to see a lot of them on the stream, really. I think it's just Star Series where we've seen them in the past, actually, or here on Face the TV. But, Jackie, so you're back, you're talking about counter-striking. Are you casting a lot in the future? What's going on for you? Or
I don't know. It is how it comes, really. Like, I'm up for anything. I'm around, If you need a Jackie, call me.
All right,
I'm available.
All right, so we're going to actually put his email in an overlay so that you guys can hire him. If he needs a job, then you can get Jackie. All right, so when it comes to Counter-Strike at the moment with Star Series, we've got loads of different teams. Are there any teams that you're particularly excited for? Because it's just like pretty much every team. We've got loads of them. I
think Kinguin are going to be interesting to see how they play out, really.
Okay, so we can see the groups there. So we can actually just look at it group through group. As far as Group 8 goes, LDLC White, they are really interesting team. I mean, they've been on the up and on the up constantly. They got great skill, they got great strategy, they have good team cohesion as well. They kind of have a bit of everything, and it seems like they're getting the attention they deserve finally. But that's kind of a rough group to go up against, having Na'Vi and Flipside in there. So we already saw some games from that group previously. INShock, they weren't able to put up much of a performance against a team like Flipside Tactics, who they did play. It was really cool to see Hyper play, because Hyper, I think there was actually a clip of him on Global Offensive recently, just showing just a snippet of his awesome individual skills, and the guy is incredibly good. And I don't think at the moment, like he stands alone, it feels like, on INShock with his raw skill and his potential. But as far as Group B goes, Harry's is in Titan. I mean, Penta. Do you think Penta can get themselves up there on the top 2?
I think they need time. That's the only thing. I still think they need time. They need to just nurture that lineup and just get it into a point where they could really do damage. But right now, no, I don't think they really can.
All right. Well, Peter, they're always going to be a bit of a surprise because, again, I think a lot of teams don't get to play them very often. But anyway, moving into Group C, Group D. So LGB are replacing TSM. So that actually makes this group incredibly open and very interesting. It's probably the kind of the group of death in that sense, that any team can really make it through. Any team can cause an upset here to any other team. We have a mistake on the overlay there. Team Kinguin. They've been really up and down lately as well, as far as their results go. And I could definitely see them actually getting knocked out here. They have 1 win, but they need to get 2 wins at least here to make sure that they can go through. And Gamers 2 are essentially the second best team in Poland. They're really, really solid. We already saw that. Well, we can already see it on the little schedule there that they're actually going to be playing them in the near future. So that's going to be a really cool match actually. Totally open. We saw Team Kinguin actually losing to Acer recently as well. EnVyUs. I really hope that EnVyUs go through because it just would be super weird if they didn't.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, just lots of interesting Counter-Strike to look forward to. Have you watched Kinguin very much?
Yeah, actually, I've got a point to make about that. One of the sort of the greatest things I've seen about them, and also one of the hardest things I've had to see, was last night. I believe it was last night. They actually lost 16-1. I can't actually recall the team, unfortunately, but they did. They got beat 16-1. But what was beautiful is after that game, we saw Scream actually saying, "Look, guys, it happened, but it's not going to get to us. We're going to strive through. We're going to get better. It's going to happen. We're a new team." And that's probably the best thing you can see, because you see teams that sort of stuff happens, that's it. They'll get down the dumps, and they don't want to compete anymore, and it just gets to them really early on. So it's beautiful to see that.
Yeah, I mean, they're a team that needs a lot of time as well, because they have so many... They need to really iron out the roles. I think that's going to be the hardest challenge for them, is to figure out who does what, who, how does it fit together on what maps. And the calling as well from Huiten, I'm not sure exactly how comfortable it is because of the language issues as well. That's going to take them... They're going to have to make their own unique way of communicating, basically. And that's probably going to take quite some time. I mean...
Because, I mean, I'd assume they're calling it English. So
you would assume so. I think they all understand English.
Because he speaks really fluent English, but it would just be dependent on... I suppose it's based, that's just normal talking, but in the heat of actually playing, you've got to think, thinking on your, in your head fast, you might think in a different language and actually saying it. It's that level of barrier that might be where you could have issues.
Okay, so Bruce Reese, what's going on? Okay, so we'll be live in about a minute and a half, guys, with a knife. So if you want to get some food, if you want to get some snacks, now is the time. Do that very quickly because the game will start in probably roughly 2 minutes, I would say. So as far as Kinguin go, anything else you think is interesting, like that they should be trying right now? Because we're seeing because we have Scream, great aimer, a guy that is probably someone you always want in your mid rounds, just staying alive, fragging, that sort of thing. I think I'm not sure exactly, besides being the in-game leader, what role Huiten has taken on. I haven't seen enough of their games to actually understand how some of these roles are working out. But Fox has been AWPing like a god, because that's kind of what he does. And Scream's been getting a lot of good games actually. So do you think that's surprising?
I don't, because I think really what they've done is well, because usually sometimes you think of Scream, you think of it as an entry fragger, but you've got players like Rain that can just go in, do that for him now. So it opens him up to stay alive longer and actually get those more crucial mid-round picks. So that's really where he's going to sort of shine now. So
yeah, I mean, because we all remember the last big lineup that he was on, the older incarnation of Titan with MBK Existence and so on and so forth, and that didn't really fit at all. It just did not fit. And I think when we had their French shuffle, and Stream was left out of the lineup of either EnVyUs or what was to be EnVyUs and or at the time LDLC and Titan. They couldn't really, neither team could really find a way to play with him, and that was fairly open knowledge. They stated that openly. But we are going to be jumping into the knife rounds, and we'll see who will start where. As we do go into this one on cash. So I'm glad that they just played that fast. Sometimes it gets dragged out, and everyone's really annoyed. But we're going to have GPlay starting off on the CT side straight away. And we will have Dignitas on the T side. So any thoughts? So I haven't seen Dignitas with this lineup play cash yet, I think.
I've not actually really seen them play that much in a while. They've been kind of a dark horse for me for actually catching their game. So for me, it's just going to be interesting to see how they really pull this one out.
We will be seeing what the opening strategy will be. It's always super interesting to me, the CT approach to the pistol. Okay, so MSL's going to smoke off connector there in mid for the CTs. And they are going to go with the A retake, the very standard A retake play. RG play on their CT pistol.
Yeah, it's fairly standard what you would expect, but here we go on the A execute there. Shots coming back into Dignitas. A few bullets off and only a little bit of damage. Bullets just slightly grazing him there. We'll finally get one though. And the bomb will go down. Here we see, just as you were saying, the retake will come out now, and if they play this right, they should be able to retake the site, really.
Just going to go straight in here all together, and actually they're not really facing correctly. AZ gets a triple kill, and it's going to be down to Bubble here by Falkwood. He will pick up the kill onto Pimp. But now he's going to be alone. Bubble against Kjaerbye and MSL. Not going to happen. Dignitas will pick it up. Very, very strange there. But what's interesting is Titan Existence, when they do this strat now, he adds a smoke which lands exactly, like a set smoke, exactly on where that bomb is. And then they just go for they get the diffuser, they just go for the diffuse, and then they try to win the round of the chaos. So GPlay haven't caught up with that, it seems, just yet.
Because that's the thing, is they went for the take, and they all went together, but unfortunately it was AZ who just caught them off guard, because he faced, and they were all just watching the same angle. Yeah. That was just a real shame for GPlay there.
Seems like some communication issues there for them, but Dignitas this round are going to go for a slower mid take, slowly just using their grenades to get rid of some of these CT players, force them to move out of position. But we still have Bubble there with that scout. He is going to get aim punch just as he goes up for the shot, so he won't connect that one. And Dignitas, losing a man early on, is starting to really weather on them, as AZ and Pimp have gotten quite low as they take these battles to still try to get into mid, but it's not really working out just yet. But Nico will help things massively with that kill. That's the scout player out of the way with Kjaerbye, going to open up towards the B bomb site, and now they have cut a path through for that bomb plant.
Yeah, we did see him get quite low, but it's not going to bother Dig, as they've just completely come back now and this big site. A few pot shots there, but they won't connect with anyone, and this site is now in Dignitas' control. That bomb should go down with ease. But unfortunately it doesn't. A nade through the window there. Actually from upper, that was a nice nade. Gets the bomb down, wastes a few more seconds. Easy should be able to find a headshot here onto Dreamer, and he does.
So pretty well done here by Dignitas to hold on to this. It was a little bit scary to begin with, but they managed to hold on indeed, and they will move into the third round with quite a lot of cash actually. And interestingly, of course, they actually brought up a lot of AKs in this round, more so than you would normally see. Of course, you know, most teams are very concerned about the kind of pistol armor shenanigans, as we did, of course, see actually from GPlay. They invested fully in this round, and Dignitas, instead of going for a mix of SMGs, which can be a little bit risky, they're like, nope, we're just going to play with the AKs. We're going to go for those picks on mids, and that's exactly what they were able to execute. So now we're going to jump into the full save for GPlay. And there really isn't a huge amount that they should, in theory, be able to do in this round with, I mean, just a 5-7 on NKL and the scout on Bubble again. And
as well, Nico and MSL with those MP7s, MP9s, even Mac 10s. There you go. That's the one. That's the one. They should actually be able to rack up a fair bit of cash, like if they can get a few kills here. So should be good to see.
So we are going to get a quick nade frag there from Kjaerbye, as the rotation will be forced down to GPlay. Now, can Dignitas get in there? Well, actually, they're just going to fall back. They've actually noted the rotation here because MSL is in the forward position. He heard them all running, and he's going to call for his team to actually just go straight for A, which is now completely clear. So absolutely abusing the rotation there that they caused, confirming the information after they made the play, and now they have got themselves a bomb plant on the way. So business as usual here for Dignitas, as they should pick up the third round without any problem. However, the GPlay are going to be trying to invest in a lot of damage here, or at least they should be, as they will be able to buy next round no matter what.
Yeah, they really want to just try to get a few guns off them, waste some of Dignitas' money. Nice couple of angles here from the T's though, and Pimp manages to find one. Nico should get a second here out on mid, and he will finally get it. Dreamer finds himself a Mac 10, but it won't be any use to him as AZ takes him down. It's only spyleadeR left with that scout in hand, just tucked away in T-spawn there.
Yeah, I would expect him to actually likely get rid of that as well, depending on I don't know if anyone actually saved a little bit of cash for an AWP. In fact, they didn't. I very much doubt NKL would sacrifice. I mean, they can't really do that. They need all the nades to work with. We are going to have a bit of a pause as well. I'm not sure why that is just yet. Oh, okay, we got the unpause as well. So very, very brief pause, which is nice. And yeah, spyleadeR actually going to toss the scout back to Bubble, who is going to actually keep it instead of going for a rifle. He could have afforded a purchase on a rifle, but he is actually instead going for that. So that's an interesting decision by GPlay. They don't have a lot of grenades to work with, having lost that pistol round. Their economy really needs to be established here. But Dignitas, look at these AKs in the AWP on Nico.
See, this is where we really want to see Nico get an early pick on the A site, though. The triple stack there, pushing into Squeaky as well as they work down. But Pimp will be the one to greet him. He'll claim ahead as well as a prize. And spyleadeR's still just tucked in, waiting. Does catch a whiff of Pimp, but can Pimp come out in top on this max up? Of course he can. Gets the frag. Beautiful play from the man. MSL claims one as well, and now it's not looking fantastic over on GPlay at all.
Yeah, they're getting destroyed at the moment. We have Dreamer and Bubble remaining, but they're yet to really pull anything off here. The entire lineup has just been picked apart, and there's not really a lot apart from saving that they can get done at the moment. And I imagine that Dignitas, having built up so much money, are going to invest some players in trying to get these frags to remove those weapons from the remainder of GPlay as they do get the bomb down. We have Bubbles kind of actually lurking quite close to the bomb site. I think Pimp is also by Squeaky here as well, so yeah, he is indeed, and they will probably be spotted very shortly. If he plays it smart and carefully, he might get them both here as they do go for the challenge, but Bubble will pick up the frag onto Pimp, so they know where they are now, and that's actually kind of a huge issue.
Yeah, it is unfortunate for him, but of course it was worth going for, because if he can get these 2 M4s off him, that's really going to hurt GPlay, so... Aggressive play now. They're just going full Rambo. They want to try and get a few guns off GPlay here. The more the merrier as they charge in with the flashbang. There we go. The big clean up there from Dignitas. GPlay completely stomped.
So another full eco there for GPlay as they'll then be able to get a really, really solid buy into the following rounds. And yeah, I do wonder about Bubble still having the scout in that spot in the middle, because you can't really... I mean, if you miss a shot, you got to give the respect that Nico or one of these riflers, especially like people like Kjaerbye, are going to hit the shot. So it can be really, really risky to play those pick games against these really huge weapons on Dignitas' side. Good pop flash there. NKL looking for the frag, and he will actually tag down Pimp with that 5-7. Nico with an HE, so damage control coming in from him. He needs to try to pick up another kill to even things up, but he won't. And they cannot keep the weapons safe either. GPlay should be able to pick those up, but they're not sure if it's safe just yet. Dignitas going for a very, very crazy play here into the B bomb site. They know they have to do something a little bit desperate, and here it comes. We've got Bubble on the site, for the shots, gets one as well. AZ gets the trade, and now it's down to Kjaerbye. Spray though, looking quite good, but there's Viktor coming in from B storage at a very fast pace, looking for that last frag. Gonna go for it right now. AZ still much more healthy, but playing headshot. Now he can just buy this time, and there it is. Oh, Viktor will get the kill. Great stuff there. GPlay are saved in this full eco. I don't believe it. But Dignitas will lose the round.
That was just complete role reversal there. We saw GPlay on the full eco just went absolutely mental. They got those early picks and then just played it smart. And have come out on top. You know, they've got the round. Every gun on Dignitas is now gone, and they get an AWP to boot. This is really good play by GPlay right there.
Yeah, I mean, wow, winning rounds like that, having just gone for the eco, we can really see it right now. They're not sparing any expense. Got a few incendiaries, full smokes, full nades, just generally the AWP on Bubble finally. So they are finally comfortable, but they have to weather one more buy from Dignitas.
Yeah, this is the thing, they really don't want to lose this round though, because it's just going to hurt their economy. They just want to play this one smart, win this, and then keep the ball rolling. Pimp poking around as he was before, and it's a cheeky tag off there through the door as well. Lovely nade, gets Nico down to only 52 hit points very early on.
Very, very strong spread of players in the A side of the map here for Dignitas towards A main, looking for that pick again. They have been quite successful in the past in creating opportunities, and I think Nico is still lurking around there with that AWP, so Could very well happen still. But GPlay, they've not really seen any info either, so they're playing very tentatively on B. They have Bubble just holding B down by himself, looking for the spot, and the bomb meanwhile has rotated towards there. So this could get really, really nasty here for GPlay. If they do not read this correctly.
That's the thing, and Bubble's starting to lose his patience as well. Going to fall back to headshot. If AZ can get this frag here, they should really just have complete control of this the site even very early on. Misses the AWP shot there, that's unfortunate. Bubble follows up with a second one, and through the vents it's Viktor. Claims one of his own. Retaliates though. Fortunately does finally go down, and spyleadeR gets 2 there.
Very nice, very strong recovery from GPlay there. Quite a few players left alive, and again, big buys coming in from them. However, Dignitas, they are starting to be strained a little bit on the money. They can actually buy as they can go for the drops. Even actually picking up an AWP, so definitely going to be interesting to see if Nico can make good use of this. GPlay are handling that picking situation a bit better by just using a lot of grenades, playing together very well, and not really giving many opportunities to Dignitas, which is a very smart reaction. Look how defensive they are at the moment. They have players keeping tabs on the general situation on the map, but this is a very defensive situation here from GPlay. They respect Dignitas' ability to play these picks.
This is good. Bubble on an angle here, should be able to claim a frag, and he will. He'll be caught with his pants down there, trying to get a flash out, I believe. MSL burning up the vents there. No one can sneak through. Headshot as well. Just easy tapping away here now. Dig not looking too bad in this round. They've got a lot of mid control early on. The bomb's still within reach. They can still work with this.
Bubbles, meanwhile, has tried to actually lock down B storage even further with the AWP, taking aggressive angles now finally. But GPlay, they're down to 3 players, as are Dignitas. However, they are the ones, Dignitas that is, that can choose where to attack, where to get that numbers advantage. GPlay just have to play it by ear. And Kjaerbye going to get the frag towards short. Teammate's going to go for the peek there. Viktor gets denied by Pimp, and Kjaerbye still by quad, so player on either side. GPlay in actually a fairly good position here as Nico and Pimp are incredibly low on health. This is going to require an instant snap onto NKL as he goes for the peek around quad. Here's the jumping around, gets the kill onto Nico. Position is now spotted, but that's not going to matter. Bubble comes in from the back, and they pick up the round. But I have a feeling it could have been a bit cleaner there for GPlay, and they're going to actually lose a bit of cash in that one. But Dignitas have finally been forced to a somewhat of an eco.
Yeah, still though, we do see 3 P250s, a Tech 9, even a Deagle in play there. She flashes in a smoke, so they're not completely out of the round. They have a little bit of usability. Just depends if they can land those shots. Much more of an aggressive A-take this round. This nade should do an awful lot of damage though. Actually not too much at all. Spray down begins to come out. Claims his first frag there. spyleadeR opted to pick up the MP9 this round. That's very smart of him. Going to be racking up a lot of cash. He picks up a beautiful kill there though. spyleadeR USP in hand. Pimp's very low. He can take him down fairly easily, but it'll be Dreamer to get the frag. That was actually really smart from spyleadeR, opting to actually just have the MP9 because of the vast amount of cash you're going to get. They knew Dignitas were forced into the eco. There's nothing they can really do. You go up against the MP9, you're just going to get rattled down anyway because of the tagging.
Yeah, I mean, it's like $1,100 or something to that extent. So it's, yeah, it pays itself back pretty quickly. After 2 kills, it's already paid back. You've got a profit even. So, well, we're going to see GPlay going for an interesting play at the moment. Pushing B storage. I like this bit of aggression from them. They've evened up the scores. Now they're going to try to apply that pressure. Kjaerbye was waiting, but spyleadeR still picks up the frag regardless. And in goes AZ now, close to white box. Viktor not necessarily having spotted him just yet. In comes the perfect pop flash, but not quite perfect enough, it would seem. Viktor still not blind enough. That looked perfect, to be honest, right in front of his face. But MSL will get the trade in eventually as we go into a 4 versus 3. And GPlay are going to be able to get a little bit further ahead thanks to the damage done by Bubble over by the A-bomb site. And that's going to deter Dignitas from wanting to challenge there now because they know they'll be up against a AWP. But that said, looks like they actually do want to take their chances there. They do have a smoke to work with. A couple smokes, in fact. So that could really be the difference. And a Molotov can also flush him out of his position as well.
That's the thing. If we can see Pimp land this AWP shot, then they can just sort of open up the site and try and go for it. The CTs are so spread out right now, and they don't seem to be reacting just yet. Just depends on who's faster, and it's Bubble that is quicker there. Claims the kill onto Pimp. Still fires off a few shots just in case he can find MSL.
Good play there by Bubble, who's going to pick up the last couple of kills, and it was very smart actually from Dignitas, the two players that are left, considering they have 2 Molotovs to play with. There is this, I mean, there's like this kind of white panel on the right of quad from A main, and if you just throw a Molotov against that, it just covers the entire area of quad in fire. So there's an AWPer there, he has to move, so you can get a pick as he's moving. So I actually like that idea very much from Dignitas. However, it did not go so well for them. Unable to kill Bubble as he was going for the move, and you can see that Dignitas have been conditioned against some aggressive play into B storage, but they're going to pick up the pace here, go for a very fast B split. Dreamer at the back of the side gets the spray there onto the first player. MSL hits the ground now as Viktor comes up the top, sees what he can do, and he's going to drop Pimp as well. Goes for the drop down to the bottom floor, and he's going to get the last frag onto Kjaerbye, and GPlay with a really, really nice response there, I must say, very fast.
Yeah, that was just textbook hold there. Just completely just mowed them down as they went for their take. Really unfortunate for Dignitas, but of course well played to GPlay. The Julie buy onto Pimp. It'll be interesting to see what he's going to decide to do with those bad boys.
Okay, so they just want to get themselves in that A bomb site with a quick plant. They don't even have any nades to really go with it. And here comes Enki out with a spray down with the AK. Only gets one with it though, as the bomb should soon go down now. So damage has been done, which is really the bonus. And the bomb play that they wanted to make happen is been executed. So well cleaned up by GPlay, but Dignitas are going to be more than happy with the way this round played out.
Yeah, they did very well to get in the site very early on. They got the frag, 2 guns off of GPlay. You're not going to be annoyed with that at all, and the bomb down as well. That's the thing. The economy though over on GPlay is looking very healthy right now, so they're not being too worried at all. Dignitas now, they finally got the guns. They should be able to do a little bit of damage here. Try to sort of get themselves back on the scoreboard.
Yeah, I mean, Bubble's actually on 15k, so he actually kind of wants someone to die so that he can, his money isn't going to get wasted here. So it's going to have to be another B storage push coming from GPlay. They really like these pushes and they keep getting them results. AZ is finally in place to get the trade, however, onto spyleadeR this time. So that will work out, and it goes for the follow-up kill. He gets it onto Dreamer, and now problems here for GPlay. Their aggressive play has finally bitten them in the backside. And if Dignitas are to play this correctly from here on out, they can really abuse the lack of players to cover these bomb sites from GPlay.
Bubble will even up the numbers there though. And Nico will say, you know what guys, no actually, I'll just get it back in our favour. There's only 2 CTs left. They have to play very aggressive now as the bomb's already down on the site. You see the push coming in. Just flash after flash here. Everyone's blind, but Pimp's not bothered at all as he finds the frag. Only Bubble left with that AWP in hand. He's just going to tuck in on short. Just bides his time, trying to find an opener here. MSL will take his head off.
Alright, so 7-5 is the score now as GPlay start to lose grip of their very dominant showing after the very shaky first few rounds from Dignitas. Dignitas finally getting themselves one. I think, did GPlay go 7 in a row?
I think they did because we saw Dig win.
I think they did, yeah.
First 4 rounds even, and then GPlay just really locked it down.
Very nice here, and also good incendiary work there from GPlay. But Nico very fast into the angle towards Quad and MBK, the corner behind the squeaky door. Wow, going straight through the smoke. No nonsense push here from MSL and AZ, leading the front, leading the charge, and will pick up multiple entry kills as Dreamer and Viktor are left to do the impossible, or what seems to be impossible here against a full site of terrorists, still with a bunch of nades to play with, and all the positions they could ask for. And Pimp on the lurk, he's going to try to catch any of these CT players as they try to fall back away to safety, but he's not going to let it happen, and he is going to take off Viktor's head, and it's all on Dreamer to try to survive now, if they can even find him over at the B-bomb site. But Dignitas, explosive round.
That was really just a cruise control take there from Dignitas though. They just charged in, no-feared it through the smoke, and it paid off because they knew they could out-aim him on the site, locked it down, and just played it smart.
Yeah, I mean, it's also one of these interesting dynamics in this game where sometimes the smokes are treated as brick walls, and it goes kind of both ways, where the CTs will be able to plant a smoke and think, okay, well, that means, you know, it's very unlikely they'll just push through the smoke, so we can have an extra player in mid for the very early timings, and then with the last 5 seconds of the smoke, he's going to get back in position towards A to help us out. And if you can just mess with these timings, and you can have really huge results there. I think that incendiary went a little bit too far there, but never mind. Going to be another mid take here from GPlay. And Dignitas, what are they going to do next? I'm sure that's not only what we are, that's the question for us, but also for GPlay here, is Dignitas have been mixing up the pace so much and really throwing GPlay off the game. But here comes the delayed mid take from them.
Cool wind of Viktor there, but unfortunately taken down by Bubble. MSL retaliates though, gets one, get their second as well. Things looking awfully good for Dignitas very early on. Kjaerbye gets a frag of his own, and it's all down to NKL over on the A bomb site, but Dignitas are all the way over at B.
Yeah, they've well and truly broken GPlay, it would seem, and NKL's the last man standing. And if we cast our minds back to where success was found for GPlay towards their ability to actually break Dignitas, GPlay did it pretty much only on the merit of aggressions, just pushing B. In fact, most of them towards B storage pushes, actually. A lot of those rounds gave them early advantages for them to play with, or forced Dignitas into a more desperate position where then GPlay could read it and prepare for it effectively and hit the shots. So we haven't really seen their just standard setups working too well, it would seem, against Dignitas' ability to just rush them down and go for picks in numbers.
I think mainly when they were getting B storage control, that was only because it was only Kjaerbye there. And then we saw AZ actually come over and help him with that like 2-player setup. And they were just trading each time, and most of the time AZ would actually find a second frag as well. So that's really where it sort of changed around. They were losing B too often. I think since then we've seen a lot more B takes from Dignitas. Yeah,
the Danes have adapted well, and they have reaped the benefits. Nico going to go in for another pick here towards quad first of all. Just try to scan the site clear with that AWP. As in come the grenades to try to force somebody out of their position. Which way they're going to go here? Will they go into Nico's crosshair? That's what they're trying to make happen with all these grenades. spyleadeR's close range with the CZ. Doesn't pick up much. In comes the spray down. AZ and Nico with 2 entries to claim. And it's going to be a very strong take of the site once again. However, 2 versus 3. And Bubble is just going straight in there. See what he can get done. So looking to be in a very good position here, as they are going to move in through the smoke just as he wants. And there's the last player, cleaned up by Nico. 8-7 first half, and it's a close first half, but it looked like it could have been a lot better for either team, actually. Both teams had periods of dominance.
I think the thing there, though, is Dignitas really sort of realized where they were going wrong and adapted and brought it back. Like, towards the end here, we see them getting the 4 rounds in a row. That's a lot better, because we just see in this middle, they just hit a wall, and there was nothing they could do to beat GPlay for a good, it was actually a good 7 rounds in a row.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting again to see now Dignitas' take on the CT pistol. Have they been doing their homework? Are they keeping up with the meta game? Because it is changing at the moment with the CT pistol on this map. Alright, well, we're going to get a B storage aggression, a very risky take on this kind of a pistol round. And we're going to see exactly why. MSL's going to be in a very awkward engagement, but it's going to be one that this time around he's going to actually pick up the kill on. And having killed that player, they now know that the majority of GPlay were towards the A area. So now we're going to get a rotate coming in. But GPlay, they have to cancel what they were initially were going to do and make a new call here. Or maybe not. Maybe they're just going to go for it.
So yeah, it's such a cheeky position there from AZ as well, because you get so much information, and you've got the 2 players on site. Just going to be able to lock it down very early on, but GPlay have decided to back off and try to get over to B. MSL claim a frag though. spyleadeR charging over to try even up the numbers. And they will be able to now as they get 2 picks. The bomb's trapped near vent though, and you've got players on either site. It's not looking amazing for GPlay, and they will have to commit soon.
Slowly trying to get this done, and in fact, AZ's going to get taken down. spyleadeR with a huge couple kills that's going to allow Dreamer to get the plant at the back of the site as Kjaerbye comes in to try to save the day. In with a 5-7, gets instantly dinked, and you can't like his chances from this point forward as he creeps with that 8 HP, and he does get spotted. The call goes out. In fact, though, it won't go out quickly enough because spyleadeR was not looking in the right location. But Dreamer will pick it up, and he will save the round for GPlay. It looked like a very sloppy pistol, actually, from GPlay initially, to be honest. And However, they were still able to come out on top there, so Dignitas in a very awkward spot.
That was a really big comeback for him, because you just saw him like early on. They had to completely change up what they wanted to do, and then they tried something else that just went wrong for him. They were losing players way too fast. Came down to the last two players. It was actually, I believe, it was spyleadeR and Dreamer, and then they just went huge. They really just kicked up the confidence there, so it's nice to see.
Yeah, so we need to see from Dignitas if they want to keep control of their economy. Some frags here. That's what they're aiming to get. Like at least like 2 or 3 frags at least. Force out some drops and make it so that when they do get the buy going, they're going to have a situation where they can force the eco. And they need that to establish that CT economy. But we shall see how it pans out, because GPlay are going very standard. They are awaiting and setting up for any early pushes, using the round timer to their advantage to keep them safe. And soon we will see them start to make plays for map control, and it appears that now would be the time. We already have a player going up in mid, and the good thing about that boost is that if he does go down, the gun is not retrievable. They're actually going to drop off now and go in for that mid take. B-split is coming up here for GPlay.
It's all going to depend on the hold here. MSL just blasting shots off with that dig. When he gets 2 headshots, he wants to get the third as well. Lovely play from Dignitas here. They've just gone completely massive, and they'll somehow be able to pick up the round. Those dig shots from MSL just firing away like a madman. He got 2 heads.
Great team play there. MSL was able to get a couple opportunities for free shots where they were just so distracted, and then by the time they take their attention towards MSL because he starts to frag, all of a sudden a teammate comes in from the back. Perfectly done, and Dignitas are going to cripple GPlay's economy and force them to go for a pistol armor play with nades. They need to get this execute working for them. They need to get the bomb down, and they need to get some guns out of the hand of Dignitas. Now, how many of those boxes can they tick? It's going to be up to GPlay now as they slowly make their way in for that push, and nades are thrown in. And they go running backwards to avoid those flashes, and oh, Viktor straight around the box. They're going to take down Kjaerbye with no problem at all. Easy comes in from short though. He's got help in Nico, but not for long. Things looking very bad here for Dignitas.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. They have just been completely overrun, but beautiful nade from MSL as they try to even up the numbers, make it a bit of a fairer score, and it's all down to MSL versus NKO and Dreamer. They both have Tech 9s in hand, and the Tech 9 will beast his M4 there.
Now the weird situation for Dignitas is that they can't buy. For some reason, Pimp is really low on money compared to everyone else. I'm not sure actually why that is. But if that wasn't the case, they could actually try to go for like the armor FAMAS and try to, because if they were able to win this round, they immediately take control of the economy. If they save in this round, which they're kind of doing, they risk giving free economy to GPlay, and then that's going to hurt Dignitas potentially in the long run. So very unfortunate that Pimp was so poor there, but Dignitas looking for that B storage aggression in Pimp. Can he pick something up?
Does fire a shot off, but unfortunately won't get anything in return from it. It's a lot more chill GPlay we're seeing this time around, just playing a bit of hide and seek here. They know they can claim a few frags if Dignitas go at all aggressive, so they're just going to hold it out. They've got the gun advantage, so they have no reason to go absolutely mental.
Yeah, they already confirmed now as well that by seeing the P250 on Pimp, they know that it's going to be a safe round instead of like a force up, which would have been a danger. And they're both going to go for the peek here. GPlay in this. Wow, the tag's coming in. Kjaerbye rocking team as well there with that eagle in hand. And Nico somehow picks up a frag in mid despite not having any armor at all to speak of. I don't know how they're doing this, but Dignitas are slowly but surely clinching out this round. They just have 3 players left to deal with. They're incredibly low on health at the moment. And Nico is just spraying forth. And they can't get onto the bomb site, but they feel so committed to do so. They're going to push on through those smokes. Frags coming in, and it's yet to be a player down here for Dignitas. spyleadeR, he's got to get some frags. Gets nothing. So many weapons picked up now. This is massive for Dignitas.
I think the craziest thing is as well is this game alone, we've already seen like 4 rounds where the team on Eco has just somehow pulled it out of the bag and gone huge. They just keep throwing spanners into the works. It's mental to see GPlay. That's really got to hurt them hard because economy is now not looking fantastic. Only 2 AKs in play. Really no nades at all. We've got 2 HEs and a smoke. Where's that going to get them?
Yeah, the thing about GPlay here is that they're going to go for this fast play again, but they don't have many grenades. and this is really, really problematic. I'm not sure what NKL is actually doing there, but we have Kjaerbye already taking down the first player in Viktor. Now, if they can prevent the bomb from going down, this is going to completely cripple GPlay. Here we go, Nico picks up the frag on Bubble in mid. spyleadeR going for the bomb plant. Is he going to get stopped here? No, he won't. NKL actually is going to get the defensive kill as the scout comes into play, making it a 2-on-1. Nico with that AWP has got a lot of work to do. Is he actually going to go for this here? He doesn't have a kit. I'm not sure if there's one on the grounds. Going to try to smoke off NKL. The tags are real right now. Nico down to 18. Goes in with the 5-7. Finds the frag on a spyleadeR. He's got to kill the next player immediately. He doesn't have a kit yet. The bomb is just going to explode. There's nothing he can do about it. NKL has survived. He's won the round. And he can... Okay, he won't be able to take the AWP away, but... again, one of these rounds won. But the thing is that Dignitas can force it up here and have a decent force so that they can get the AWP onto Nico. Whereas if GPlay lose this one now after spending everything, it's a terrible economic situation. And I mean, it's like, who's going to break first? Dignitas don't go for the force though. Interesting. Maybe the money was lagged or something. Actually, if we can quickly recheck the money. Okay, no, I think they could have actually managed to make that happen, but
maybe they actually interpreted it wrong and thought GPlay actually had more money here.
It's possible as well. It might be very hard to keep track of that situation, but
the things I wouldn't put its favour too much on GPlay as well, because we've seen how big MSL and Kjaerbye can actually go with those Deagles.
Yep.
They play amazing with them. Can pick up really game-changing frags early on. So
indeed, yeah, I think one of the players is 6,700 or something, and 157 or something like that. So. And the rest was around 3k, I think it was, for Dignitas. So they could have gotten some like Famous and Kevlar and stuff like this, and maybe a smoke and a flash. And we can see that there's a very limited stock of utility here for GPlay. They've got almost no grenades to work with, so they have to make the picks. They've got to get the fast frags in mid. It's got to be this mid play that can really make this round happen here for GPlay, but the first player's going to go down. Nico gets spotted. He needs to get flashed out of that position to make sure that he can survive, but spyleadeR's going to go in forklift, completely annihilate Pimp on the entries, and GPlay are decimating this A bomb site defense here from Dignitas. There's not a lot they can do, it would seem, with these pistols. And MSL is last man. And he will go down as well. So GPlay, pretty clean rounds. And they are going to start building some good cash. But Dignitas, they play to have a super strong buy here, because maybe it's felt like they haven't ever had a good CT buy and they're sick of it. So here we are. We're going to see it.
This is the thing. This is maybe where we see him go back to being a lot more patient and just tucking in again and playing as we saw very early on, because they seem to be playing a lot stronger when they have the ability to play more defensive, and GPlay will be setting them up for that as they go very, very aggressive early on, charging towards the B bomb site there.
Yeah, all of them are in there. I don't think Dignitas could really know how many players there were there exactly, but it is pretty much all of them, and in they go straight away to checkers. They have good control of the vent, so going to be down to NKL. The spray only gets one pick up there. Nico misses the shot on the final player. Viktor, who will actually get himself a quick kill there, as the flash is going to allow his safe return to B storage, and Viktor gets another one as he retreats to pick up the bomb. But now he's going back in for round number 2, and he knows as a player there he should see some feet, and that's what he's going to try to play for initially, trying to bait him out. He knows he's there in the vent area, and there it is. Viktor, so smart. Kjaerbye goes down. Now it's just Nico with the AWP. Once again, Nico in his clutch situation in a round that they just simply must win. Here it is, and Nico can't get it done. Viktor, what a clutch there from him. Gets the quad kill, gets the round for GPlay, and also crippling the economy of Dignitas. How are they going to find their way back into this one now?
They're really they're going to be struggling here, but the thing is for me, what was so big there is just, there must have been some level of miscommunication with Dignitas, because everyone was caught out in the open, but there was no one double peeked it, and they were playing it like a 1v1 time and time again. We saw those picks coming out from Viktor, where everyone was just caught in awkward positions, and it's a real shame to see. That's got to really hurt Dignitas.
Absolutely. CG play with another quick push into B as well, because they feel like they have to just keep it simple. And so far it's working out pretty well. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of ways that they could have played that 2v1 or the 3v1. Because you should never lose. You should never lose like that. When the bomb is down, you've got the bomb side.
So, I mean, going into a 4v1 like that, all they had to do was face 2 players at the same time, pick up the kill. Even if they lose one, it's fine. Just rebuy the gun next round. I'd rather we still got the round win. So it was really unfortunate. I think it was more so just how out in the open Dignitas were. They were all just caught in like odd angles, so that's a shame. And once again this round we actually see spyleadeR picking up the MP7 to rack up some more cash. So he's actually the only player I've really seen utilizing that a lot more in the current meta, because it's smart to do. If you know your opponent's going to be on an eco, like don't buy the AK. You know you can get an MP7, rack up even more cash to keep your economy high. So that is smart play from him there.
It's going to have to come down to this round now for Dignitas as well. It was very. I mean, you got to credit Viktor for like forcing out the errors from them.
Yeah.
But still, yeah, that's definitely one of those spots where got to play some tighter CS, and we have Nico and Pimp on AWPs. So they have changed their setup going into this round. They have the 3-men push on the middle area. They have Dignitas, so they've got an AWP on either side. This is a very, very standard setup, popularized by Titan, and that is ridiculous. Bubble's going to pick up the kill through the smoke on the Pimp. That's one AWP down. That's going to force MSL back towards the B storage area. So he's given up vents. This is the sacrifice. Now GPlay could just retake middle very easily from this point if they wanted to go for that delayed mid take, but they have actually got players positioned in A still. And again, they can do anything right now. They've got that early pick. Okay, yeah, I love this. It's very smart. Going to get themselves up here and boosting on the corner so they can get 2 players up there. Okay, this is very, very smart by GPlay. Mid should be 3 after that opening pick, and there it is.
Actually, tucked away in the dark alleyway there. Gets a frag, but it's not going to be too much. Still advantage to the T's, but actually it's changed. All of a sudden as AZ finds the M4 kill there. 22 HP on Bubble. And Dreamer, who was 100 HP, just completely mowed away, and Nico finds the option to Bubble. Dignitas somehow bringing it back now, clawing from the depths.
Yeah, I'm not sure which player it was coming out from Squeaky there, but that's one of those spots where someone can so easily pop flash forklift from main. It's a no, like you don't even have to practice it. Just throw it against the side of the opening from A main, and then just go straight into forklift, and then he can peek out there and get safely onto the site. But yeah, no nades to cover them on the entry, and now we've got GPlay trying to make things happen with another fast round straight into the A bomb site. They really love these fast rounds, and Dignitas looking better so far, but with AZ with that double, but they need more right now. So 3-on-3, in comes Kjaerbye and MSL up from short, sorry, as they will pick up the kills. And the bomb is down now.
Pimp over at mid with the AWP in hand. Should get the better of Bubble here, and he does. What's interesting right now is I've seen GPlay actually seem to thrive on Anarchy. Whenever they're going huge, it's the rounds where they just go balls to the walls mental. They just charge into the site. Even if they don't have much utility, no nades or anything, they just charge in and pick up crazy headshots. And it's really been benefiting their playstyle. I think it seems to be crippling Dignitas because they're not ready for these early pushes.
Yeah, it's been really, really brutal actually. The severity of how sometimes they play it really slow, and sometimes it's just like insanely fast, like so fast that you, as you said, you never would expect. It's kind of a scary thing to deal with, but Dignitas, they seem to be adapting a little bit better at these times, but they have a big weakness on A at the moment. If there was to be a big push on A, and it looks like it is coming, they only have Kjaerbye here and the man on short to help defend. I think it's AZ as well, who usually plays around the forklift area, but Nico will pick up an opening kill. Here comes another one from Kjaerbye. They're playing quite far back. This is smart actually from Dignitas. Playing more of a retake style here as they come in together using the grenades, and it's looking quite fantastic. There goes the pop flash over the crate there by the red container. There's just one more player to pick up. It will be an easy affair, and Dignitas will tie things up 13-13. But it seems hard to separate these two teams. They have very different styles, but it's the case of who can adapt better so far.
It is. We've seen so many changes of playstyle on both teams. You never know really how either one of them is going to go, actually going to play. Sometimes you see Dignitas going for these early pushes and then falling back after they get the information, or just playing the slowest CTE side you've ever seen. Whereas GPlay, they just go from being ridiculously slow, like a reverse Sonic the Hedgehog here, just stuck in sights, and then just going mental and just charging in. You know, the likes you've never seen before, but it's crazy to see. They really know how to play their T side pretty interestingly, I would say.
Well, we are going to have a test here for MSL and Nico in middle, it would seem, as GPlay are posturing towards what either they would expect an aggression from the CTs, or more likely to be that they would like to take some control of middle, force some players out of there. Once they get, and they want to get the split going as well, but it's going to be Kjaerbye taking down spyleadeR straight away as he holds this position down in the corner. And retreats back to quad. Now they're not too sure what's going on. I think they spotted the one, but they've actually, there's a player in the A bomb site who can actually backstab all of them. NKL picks up the frag onto Kjaerbye as Jimmy comes around and annihilates Pimp and GPlay with the most unorthodox of rounds now. Could make this one happen.
I think that was so big for GPlay because Dignitas had no idea what was going on there. And it's come down to AZ, who's unfortunately not going to be up for the task. I mean, as you said, he literally snuck on site. No one was ready for it. No one really expected it, so they had no reason to check it, and he just capitalized on it. It's got a frag. It's created a distraction for Dignitas. They're now looking behind instead of all charging in to try and commit to the retake. That was really good play.
I'm not sure if anyone from Dignitas saw the bomb to call a full rotation, because you kind of want to see the bomb before you call a full rotation, because you never know if one or two players can be lurking and they can be going for that fake. So I'm not sure what happened there, but perhaps the communication in that round was a little bit skew-if there for Dignitas, as we will have a lead now for GPlay. Now they are playing incredibly slowly, and this is what we were talking about before. They mix up their play so much. It swings so heavily from hyper aggression to hyper defense, and we can see it here in this round. They don't want to get caught off by any shenanigans. They're reading the money of Dignitas well. They're reading the buy and the situation well. Now finally they're going to go into a bit of a play into some map control.
That's the thing, they really are conditioning Dignitas to play how they want them to. And maybe it's not going to be too great for Dig, as they're just having to change things to really even be in with a chance to win these rounds. But this is nice play once again from Kjaerbye. Unfortunately, they will be wise to it this time and just instantly take his head off and cracks open the A site. AZ will retaliate though with that Deagle in hand. Beautiful frag from the man. The resistance.
Looking really good though for GPlay. They are looking to get that 15th round on the board. Nico can really just think about saving this rifle into the next rounds. So actually MSL is going to get a quick frag here, so that might give Nico some confidence to go for this, and indeed that quick frag will mean so, but the player in position is going to be bubbled with the AWP. Going to handily cover that angle off, and it's going to be 15 to 13 now as GPlay are on map point. And I do remind you guys that the next map is in Inferno, so GPlay with a potential to take map number 1 against Dignitas, but they're on the full buy now, so we have about a minute left of this pause.
See, what's interesting as well is right now Dignitas are under so much pressure, because you've got to think, all they're thinking about now is, right guys, let's take it to overtime. We need to take it to overtime. We lose a round, we're out. It's, this first map lies in the hands of them having a flawless performance now and not allowing GPlay to best them at all. So it literally just depends on if Dignitas are up for the task and they're able to just lock everything down, and how insane GPlay have been playing, where they're just changing things on the fly, time after time after time. It depends if Dignitas even have any idea of how to counter it.
Yeah, and I think Dignitas have a much better chance of winning this if they don't go to 3 maps, just because I think GPlay, if memory serves me correctly, are quite a strong Mirage team, and they've taken some good results against some good Mirage teams. So generally want to try to avoid that. I think Dignitas should have their best chance to take a map 1 Inferno, but we'll have to see how things pan out here. But either way, it's just very interesting to see GPlay's T sides. They have a nice little approach, and I want to see that on all the maps. I want to see how it works out, especially on Inferno against Dignitas' CT sides. But that is, of course, me thinking a bit too far ahead, as we do see the AWP on Nico. We have 4 rifles for the rest of Dignitas. The problem is, though, is that they are missing a couple of smokes, and that always makes life a little bit harder as the CTs. It's not as severe on a map like this as it is on some other maps, if you can just hit your shots and play your positions correctly. Of course, not having a smoke on Nico or MSL likely means that they can't really... Oh no, MSL has one. It's Kjaerbye that doesn't have one. It likely means that they'll only have like 1 smoke in mid, so mid could potentially be quite vulnerable if GPlay want to go for a play in there with all their utility.
I mean, that's the thing as well. We're only going to see 1 smoke actually going up on A here, so if they do decide to go for these fast rounds once again, which we will, this is going to be unfortunate for Dig. See if they can come out on top here, as early on once again we see GPlay going massive, huge frags in play here, but the numbers game has started to equal itself up a bit now. 3v3 as the CTs begin to rotate. We see 2 in mid, 1 going from behind. Might be able to pop out from connector and do a little bit of damage here, as most of the Ts are just looking towards short. Finally, Viktor turns around, catches wind of MSL and claims the frag as well. Pimp going aggressive now, straight up the ladder, flying around, gets 2 frags. Can he get the third? He really needs to go huge here. Bubble tucked away and squeaky, but Pimp won't be bothered at all. Gets the frag, and Dignitas are still in it to win it. 15-14. This is where they need to really clutch it out in this final round and take it to overtime.
Yeah, that was a really, really interesting play from GPlay. Obviously, like, they know the money's really bad for Dignitas. They could have played against that and said, hey, if we play a really slow round, by the time we go for a side take, they won't have any grenades left, and then that would give us an advantage there. That's obviously also always a very viable way to think in a situation like that. But they decided just to go for that fast timing. And this is a team that's very good at trading frags. They're very good at that basic. This is something we saw that Vox was so good at Gfinity. And it's something that you should never, ever overlook how powerful it can be. And they've been trying to abuse it massively in the early timings there. If Kjaerbye hadn't been there to get that quick, fast frag and the call close to A main, that round probably wouldn't have been won by Dignitas there. So Dignitas, they have to be afraid always at a rush. Basically, that's the problem here for them.
It's interesting as well because of like how the money game has affected them here. We're only going to see 2 Famouses. Like you know, there's 2 players that would prefer to have the M4 now. They're going up against a full buy of AKs and 1 Galil. This could affect them right now because I mean, there's so much pressure in this final round to try and take it to overtime.
And they're going to actually go for a fake. They're going to do a fake execute on A, try to get the bomb into the B bomb site. Now Dignitas need to communicate well here. They need to be able to say that the bomb has not been spotted yet, and they can't force a rotation too early. If they do, the players from B can get caught out here. They're really selling this though. They're getting the frags, but good here from Dignitas. They're not moving just yet. They have spotted the players on B, and MSL's on the side to lock it down. Only gets a single kill though. So Dignitas still with a good chance here as GPlay have tried to really sell this, and to an extent they've been doing so, but Dignitas, good communication.
What's really great for Dig as well is that GPlay are so segregated from where the bomb is because of how far away they were trying to sell the fake, but it's not going to be their downfall as it's come down to Nico. The AWP's in his hands, going up against NKL. Who will come out on top here? 7 seconds on the clock. He will get the bomb. I don't think he actually has time. Oh, he will.
Yeah, he's
oh no!
Oh wow!
He didn't actually have time.
Oh my god, there wasn't actually enough time. I thought he would make the plant there. Oh, that is absolutely cutting. Okay,
there you go.
So we're going to go to overtime. I'm very surprised because I thought that Nico was just like, well, there you go then.
Yeah, I thought he was just backing off to reposition to try and spot the bomb, but there must have been a call saying, guys, he's too far away, just go. And that's smart play from Dig there. Something that I didn't even realize. So
yeah, that was a really, really nice round there from both sides. GPlay going with that fake. And it's very ballsy to try to go for a fake play in a round like that when, well, it's interesting. Let's put it that way.
That was, as well, though, we saw a different Dig there. Because usually they just instantly over-rotate far too much whenever there's a push like that. But as you were saying, this time the communication was more on key. And, like, they didn't leave sight. They held sight well, even to the point where, you know, there was, like, 3 players over on A pushing as fast as you like.
And that's also a powerful thing for GPlay to abuse of their own style. And they know this. They know that teams will be so afraid of the full-out rush that when that execute comes in, you don't expect it necessarily to be a fake. You're too afraid of the really fast rush. So, indeed, very, very well composed Dignitas, and it's paid off to get them the overtime. We have MR3 16K, all the guns, all the time.
It's true indeed, but it's going to be, we can come out on top here. I think this is good for GPlay as well. Starting off on that T side, it seems to be their preferred side because we've seen just how crazy they can play. This is where they should be able to rack up a few rounds early on.
The thing here as well is that typically in the MR3 it's usually 10k, so if you don't win one of the first 2 rounds, then you're ecoing the last one. But again, this is 16k, so always a catch. And that is a header from Dreamer, but you shouldn't do that on grenades. So we'll have Dignitas waiting to get some kind of info right now, because GPlay are going for their more slow style here. And they are slowly edging towards B storage. This could be very explosive any moment now. They have a lurker towards mid, but in they go. Viktor straight away to try to get that entry. Coming so easily though.
The thing is, they didn't actually manage to get that much damage off onto Pimp early, so he was able to pick up a frag and actually give the rest of the Dig players enough time to rotate over, and now it's Kjaerbye and Nico. They can see the bomb, they know what's going down. It just depends if he can stay alive in this situation, and he can, just long enough to get 1 frag to even up the numbers. Time's ticking away, just as we saw last time. I don't think they've actually got time here. So once again, Dignitas coming out on top with the clock.
Oh my god. That's so weird. It's Nico is in so many of these situations where he's like 1v1 or 1v2. And for that to happen twice is so unlikely that it's a timeout. Again, ridiculous. Dignitas, 16-15. They'll pick up the first round of overtime. Now, what else can they get done? I mean, that's pretty important for them because they went for the double AWP and then the full nades, like full nades. So that's like 7.5k money right there. Super expensive.
Easy. I don't think we've actually seen him try anything like this before. Pushes in straight away against the 1-for-1. It's actually not too great for the CTs really, because the thing is, 4 Ts, you're still going to be fine. 4 CTs, you've got to really segregate where people are now. You've got to move them around. You can't have like 2 players on either side and 1 watching mid. So this is better for the Ts really right now.
So GPlay looking for that mid take as well. They have the man in Squeaky who can keep the distraction on, can keep just abusing the fact that he can just make noise and delay rotation, keep the threat of A alive, and they're going to throw Pimp out of the vents. This is really important right now because they can still split into A whilst making it look like a play in towards B, and that might be the read here. Dignitas reinforcing the B site. You can see that they're expectant on a push into B. The defense is incredibly thin. It's all going to come down to Kjaerbye, but he can't get anything done on the A bomb site, and that is going to be now a 3-on-3 retake coming in from Dignitas.
That's the thing, the only grenade we do see on Dignitas right now as well is a Molotov. If they land that right, maybe that's a little bit of damage. Dream is very low, Bubble's very low, and actually it will burn Bubble down and give MSL the opening to get the frag now, and things aren't looking too bad for Dig as they go very aggressive. MSL gets the second frag. If they can pick up the third here, they've got the time, they've got 2 kits in play, they really can win this round. And there's the AWP shot from Nico. Should get the defuse. Good play from Dignitas right now. They're not overcompensating at all. They're playing it smart and they're winning these rounds. So if they can get this, maybe we can actually see them picking up that T round and winning the first map.
Absolutely. It's looking quite strong at the moment. And in spots like this, GPlay have in the past decided to just do like a full out rush, like super fast timing. Are they going to go for it again? The bomb is moving quickly towards A main at the moment. And they do have a players like kind of spread all over the place. They got, well, they did have Bubble trying to see what was happening over towards B storage, but when that happens, if you have players in place on mid or on A main, some teams will make the call immediately to just push in, because you know that if 2 players were there, it's likely you can get maybe a bit an easier engagement. It's less likely that people can be very close to reinforced. If you get fast entries, you can be more guaranteed a bomb plant, but a lot of time has passed now. Dignitas back into default positions with their man advantage, and things look great for them.
It's true, and Pimp in his prime position here, he really loves chill out in this vent. Did a bit of a John McClane in Die Hard, just sneaking around.
John McClane. Delayed mid take coming in. Let's see if John McClane can get himself some kills. They haven't Molotov'd it. That's absolutely massive. In comes the crossfire. It is going to completely decimate the lineup. And wow, 18-15. They don't drop a single CT round. That's got to feel good for Dignitas. And GPlay have got to be sweating right now.
Yeah, that's so huge from Dignitas right there. They brought it back to such an extent now. You know, it looked like they were out of the game. And to bring it back, take it into overtime, and now being a chance with really winning this, it's just one round that stands before them. If they can really keep up to sort of the level of skill we've seen them play these last few rounds, this is their game right here.
Absolutely. We'll have to see now if they can get themselves on an advantage early on, because there's nothing to do with a good start. There is only winning all the rounds and managing to get another overtime here, lest Dignitas can be victors. And there is a quick shot, but also a quick miss there, but there's the follow-up. Bubble will make it happen in AZ. A bit too exposed. But looks like a player has gotten very close without Bubble knowing. He's going to have to react up. Maybe he did actually see him there. He's looking for the angle, and he will get the shot. Kjaerbye is annihilated.
He may have actually caught wind of his foot as he passed through the smoke, and then, of course, he saw the barrel of his AK there, but that is interesting. It's a shame as well, because Dig actually did that 2-player setup on B once again that was working so well before, but this time not as much, because now they've got to go up against the AWP, and Pimp almost getting sent off to the Burns ward there. It's really hasn't gonna at all good for Dignitas. They've just been completely shut down. It's all down to Pimp, 11 HP. He's not looking too healthy at all, is he?
No, this is done and done. And interestingly, well, I guess it's unlikely GPlay are going to go for those B storage aggressions that we saw previously. That was starting to win them some rounds. But that said, I think it's hard to ever know really what GPlay are going to do. They're fairly unpredictable in that sense, and Dignitas can still find many ways to mix it up. But Nico's actually spent the 7.5K more or less each time. And now he's down to $2,900, which is kind of depressing for him actually. So, well, won't have the best buy in the world in the following round. Like 4.5K on him or something. Yeah, we have play into mid with MSL. He's got himself by the vent already, which is really nice here. They're setting up for a play into A. We have almost a full rotate coming in from GPlay. They got a man pushed in B storage, which really helps them know exactly what's happening. They're getting massive kills onto the A bomb site as the players spill on in from A main, and they will clean it up. And Dignitas can't even get more than a single kill. GPlay read that so well because they pushed a man in B storage, so they knew it was coming.
That was so huge from as you were saying. They just went mental there, just frag after frag, and this is more GPlay that we saw before. They've got that momentum again, and they're locking it down. So this is where they don't want to fall short on the last hurdle. They need to win this round if they want to be in with a chance to take it to another overtime.
What is this smoke? I haven't seen someone set a smoke up like this before. Where is this one going to go? Oh, wow. Very, very nice. But whilst that was happening, there we go. We did see that play into B storage coming in. It seems to be such a bread and butter play for GPlay to actually execute, and it's going to win them the rounds, potentially, and force another overtime. Unless Pimp can kill 5 players, it's not going to be able to get even one.
What was interesting as well is because that round, once again, we only saw one player in B storage, whereas before, when they realized how to counter it, they had AZ and Kjaerbye over there. But this time, AZ, of course, was in the vent smoke. He wasn't there to back up his mate, and it's all gone wrong once again. So it's interesting, you know, GPlay really just playing the mind games right now. You don't know where they're going to be. You don't know how to have your players positioned anymore.
The one thing with GPlay is that they've never done... So, like, one of the interesting things about CT Cache is that you can play into A main or you can play into B storage with aggression of CT to claim not just maybe like a sneaky kill, but you can actually get very, very important map control that's very hard to actually take back efficiently, because it's a little bit reminiscent, I guess, of Banana on Inferno, and why that's so important. You limit the options of the other team, give yourself so much more information to work with, and that's, I guess, why GPlay are going for this so often. They must value so highly to have that position because it's so forward in B storage, because you can get yourself on the outside bit, and it's really easy to play with the cover there as well. So once if there's nobody there, they don't have to keep pushing around. They can leave a guy there and then rotate 4 guys towards A. And if something is starting to happen towards B, well, they are going to get a good call in time to get players in position. So Dignitas, they need to be able to adapt to this. They need to find a solution to this, because the funny thing is that, again, GPlay aren't even bothering to do this same kind of play on A main. They're just doing it only on B storage. So that should be, you should be able to prepare for that.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I don't think we've actually seen them push A main at all, really, have we, in their CT rounds?
No, they haven't. And again, if you're ever asking yourself, if you're ever ahead and you're asking yourself, like, what is the one way that we could, like, get behind here, or the one way we could lose? Well, GPlay have already shown Dignitas what is weak in Dignitas' setup on their T sides. It's GPlay's B storage pushes. That's what's been claiming them so many advantages.
Yeah, maybe that's something to think about. If actually, instead of even committing one player there, or the 2 players they have to take someone from somewhere else to even try to get that, like, the frag and even up the numbers. When they shift over to A, go for those A takes and really get inside. But Bubble will be able to open up the round and getting the kill into Kjaerbye. MSL will retaliate though and try and make things a bit easier for them. A full rotate over onto B already. They've caught wind of them. They've got a sniff of Dig and they know where they are. And they'll come off the shots. Everyone dropping like flies. It's all down to MKL. He charges in, trying to be the hero, but he will get taken down.
That's a good way to counter it as well, because if you're just going to throw everyone towards B for a play every now and again, then if GPlay are going to go for that, they're going to get kind of screwed over. Because it does play really well against the lurker, that like one or 2 lurkers in B storage that a lot of teams so commonly place. So Dignitas finally getting the T rounds. Can they pick up any others? They're going to go for an A execute, it seems. And this will be very telegraphed because the smokes are going to come from very far away. as we go into this A execute. There's Nico close by. Great nades.
Well, he should push him out of position, as you were saying before, though. And this might just give Dig the opening they need as they charge into the site now. Hazy gets spyleadeR down. Dreamer will also fall. It's all down to NKL, and he's still there, still fighting until Nico comes along and finally puts him in his grave. Hazy and Nico, the last two surviving Dignitas players. Almost lands their headshot there. Onto Bubble. It's the battle of the AWPs now. Who's faster? Bubble is blind. Molotov there to try and block his vision a bit, but it won't really do much as he pushes onto the site. Very aggressive now. Catches wind of the bomb planter, takes him down. Nico, the AK-47 in play. Let's see if he can go absolutely massive here. Of course he can. Gets the round. Dignitas really showing that they found a new youth in their T side now.
Yeah, it was kind of weird that AZ was trying to plant so open, considering that Nico wasn't covering, basically, for him to do that. And that should be another basic communication thing where you know where your team is covering, so you know what's safe. So that, again, that's like a spot that should be incredibly hard for him to for Bubble to win in that position. But he almost did it, and we go to the next round here. And Dignitas starting things off very strong with 2 rounds already on their T half. This looked much more difficult for them earlier.
That's the thing, they got to be kicking themselves. They couldn't do this last time. They would have ended the game. But Nico still feeling very confident there. Gets the frag onto spyleadeR, and only 4 CTs remain. NKL are on that A site, tapping away, telling that door, no one better come through here. Nico catches wind at mid, but can't quite pick up the frag. NKL still trying to deter the Ts there. Doesn't want him to come in just yet, but if they do decide to go through that push, I don't know if he'll be able to defend it. He's done quite well majority of the game, though. He has been able to pick up at least 2 kills on these pushes. Dig really sort of, don't seem to haven't really found a way to actually push him out of position, apart from when they have the Molotovs, and there's actually none in play we've seen so far. They haven't decided to do it yet. If they do go for the take this time, they've got 3, so maybe they can do it. And
GPlay did not push B storage this round. I think they're a bit afraid of doing that early on, and they're past the timing when they can do that safely, because if a push came into A, the players too fast, too far away on the rotate, but it's NKL to pick up the double there as MSL and Nico line up, and they are going to line up for him again, but the entries are going to come in. Kjaerbye and Pimp make it happen, but Kjaerbye gets dropped. Bullet straight to the dome there from Bubble as Pimp goes up. He needs to make this a one-on-one. There it is. Spots the next player, but has to go get the bomb, and will retrieve that. And it's going to be Bubble again in this clutch situation, but this time it's much better for him. He's going to go for the frag here. Pimp is playing a very dangerous game indeed. But Bubble is going to just limp away on 21 points of health and reposition. Pimp has to be careful here. He could get caught on this angle, but it's going to be Bubble back again from the car. As Pimp looks safe right now. There's the peek, and he gets the kill. Dignitas. Wow.
That just really is just classic Pimp there. Just the absolute madman, just going for these mental faces, and somehow he pulls it off. So more power to him there.
They just need 1 round now on the CT, and they showed previously that wasn't an issue for them. So, again, I said it before, but GPlay have to be sweating here. And, well, it seems to be that their CT side was a little bit stronger than their T.
It's true indeed. If they can really just pull back to what we saw a few rounds ago, as you were saying, this is it. This is game right here. A little bit of early damage there onto Bubble. Not going to affect him too much, though. He'll brush that off.
Hey, so very slow round here from GPlay, as they are known to do, to mix it up sometimes in that way. But Dignitas, you can see from this. Wow, you have to be kidding. Great stuff there from NKL. What knowledge gets the head of AZ through the door, and this could turn things really into their favor if they were to play with this well. And of course, Pimp is actually going to push in to mid main here. He's taking a chance. Chance could pay off huge.
Such a sneaky B right now, getting behind them. This is the thing though, over on A site, it's all very quiet right now. Everyone just trying to get the better positions here. Pimp, as we were saying before, goes very huge there, gets the frag onto Viktor. Might be able to get his second, and of course he does. Takes down Bubble. 3 Ts left. Nico's just got to defend the site to give his teammates just long enough to get over, and he will be doing that. Gets 2 lovely AWP frags there. Dreamer charging in with the AK in hand, rattles off the shots, gets him low, but it's Kjaerbye to get the final frag. Headshot from the man, and there we go. Dignitas finally take the game, 22-18.
I gotta say, it's gotta be really relieving, because for Dignitas, when they're playing a game, as far as when I was watching the game as well, it looked like they were playing generally better, more consistent. They looked just generally a little bit more sturdy than GPlay. GPlay were doing a lot of crazy stuff, a lot of shock and awe, a lot of plays which they basically weighted in a lot of risks, whereas Dignitas were trying to play a more stable game.
Yeah.
So you can see that it over all the rounds it kind of went to Dignitas' favor in the end, but Dignitas have to be very, very, very happy with that, considering that now they just have to win Inferno, and I think they like their chances there more than Mirage.
Yeah, because the thing is, we were saying, if it did go to the third map, Mirage is one where GPlay will really shine, and it all depends if, like, on Inferno, we can see Dignitas just going huge. They get CT, they're just going to lock it down, cruise control it out, and they should be good to go. So it's going to be an interesting one.
All right, guys, we'll take a quick break whilst we set up map number 2. So stay with us here on FACEIT TV for more action for Star Series.